would you ever, ever, ever want to raise a baby behind bars? I mean, listen, I've been a journalist for about 27 years, which is a pretty long time. And in the time that I've been a journalist, I think I probably covered a prison story maybe 5 times. And so a year ago, if you had asked me, what does your average prisoner look like? I would have said, well, it's a guy, and he's wearing something like hospital scrubs, and he's probably disaffected and disconnected from his family and his community and certainly his children. But statistics tell us where we see the rise in prison population is among women. And in fact, between 2000 and 2009, the male prison population rose 16.6%, but for women, it went up just under 22%. And so there are 2.7 million children who have a mom who's behind bars. When we first came to WCCW to do a documentary on J-Unit, where they allow mothers to raise their babies behind bars, I met a woman named Christy, and Christy had just come in, and she was big and pregnant, about 6 weeks away from giving birth to a baby she told me would be named Grace. And the baby had dropped, so she was close. And she was going into intake, and she allowed us to start shooting her story. Take a look.
Need to see inside your mouth. Lip down, lip up, ears. Need you to pull your hair to the side a little more. Thank you. Other ear, please. Okay, ladies, go ahead and have a seat. We'll be with you in just a moment.
The number of women in American prisons has jumped 800% in 3 decades. 1 in every 15 women will enter prison pregnant.
One in every 15 women will enter prison pregnant. Now, Christy had 3 children already, and if you want to see an indication of the impact on families, well, take a look at Christy's 7-year-old son, Justin, who came for visiting day.
Hi, baby. You look so handsome. Look at you. Hi, sweetie pie.
Hello.
How are you, honey? You look good, sweetie. I miss you.
I miss you too, Mom.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? There's a foot.
Really? You can feel it?
Feel that hard thing?
I wonder what this feels like to the baby when you do this.
Oh, probably feels like...
Probably.
What is this thing? Not ridiculous. I have an innie. What's going on there? I miss you, sweetheart.
I miss you too.
I'm glad to see you. It's been a couple weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah. I wonder what it's going to be like when she comes out. I wonder what she's going to do.
Hey, I want you to know something. There's nobody that can ever replace you. Do you know that? Do you know that I have enough love in my heart for you and a sister? And your big brother?
Yeah.
And your sister?
Yeah.
Other sister?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to know that. I don't want you to feel that I'm going to love this baby more, because that's just, I can't love a human being more than I love you. It's not possible, because you're special. All right?
I know.
Okay. Okay. I love you very much.
I love you too, Mom.
I'm glad you got to come see me today. That was a special surprise, huh?
Yeah.
Take care of your daddy. See you soon.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, kiddo.
Christy used to work in real estate, and then the market crashed, and she started doing drugs, and then doing more drugs, and eventually she was incarcerated, came in here, and when she came here, she was concerned about losing more than just her freedom. She was very concerned about losing the custody of her baby, Grace. And that's a very realistic concern, because we know that in the United States, most women who deliver in prison will deliver their baby shackled to a hospital bed. And then that baby will be taken from them. We got to tell the story of Shia Ball, who also is here. but did not make it into the baby's program. And here's what happened to her.
Huh?
You're taking the whole bag with you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Everything.
Okay. You're gonna get dressed and I'm gonna dress him here. Is that okay at the same time? You don't need help with anything, honey?
No, I just looking like this. I don't want Krista to think I meant this like this to happen.
I know, Shaya, it's okay. We've got it covered. I cried all day yesterday. It's covered. It's good.
But Krista can have it after you take it.
I know. That's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. You know it always works out.
I know.
Okay, you go. I love you.
Love you. I hope we'll find you later.
We know that 90% of women who are incarcerated have some kind of history of violence, domestic violence, child abuse. And we know that their children are often on that same path. They're more likely to be abused. They're more likely to do badly in school. They're actually more likely to end up exactly where their moms are. And so it's not hard to say, in some ways, we are punishing the children for the mistakes that their moms have made. $30,000 a year, that's what it costs to keep a child in foster care on average. But there are women who are incarcerated who would love the opportunity to raise their own children behind bars. And people might say, well, isn't it insane to think you would raise a baby behind bars? It's not only risky, it's actually reckless. We put that very question to Sonia Ali, who runs the program here. Here's what she said.
I think there are lots of people who would think, God, babies, infants, and toddlers behind bars. It seems sort of terrible for them, is it?
It's not, because they don't see the barbed wire. They see their mother, and they have a connection with somebody that loves them.
So the day is pretty typical for the babies. As we were here shooting the documentary, we notice every morning at 7 o'clock their day starts. They go off to breakfast. Then for the kids, it's off to Head Start, while their mom might go off to learn a trade. And then at 3 o'clock, it's pickup time, and then dinner, and then tub, and then bed, and then it all starts over again. And that's kind of the typical day for the babies. But really, it's not about the babies. It's about giving the mothers an incentive to want to do better and be better and prepare for a life on the outside, taking care of their children. We interviewed Margaret Taggart, who now is on the outside working, and asked her what her experience was like while she was here raising her baby, Zoe, behind bars. Here's what she said.
Margaret Taggart is already raising baby Zoe in J Unit, an unremarkable building surrounded by razor wire that houses the residential parenting program. It has a little playground out front, separated from the higher security cell blocks.
To be a mother, you know, and to have that connection and have a fresh start and start all over again on the right foot. Drop him in. Good job. Can you push it back under the bed? Thank you. You ready to go take a bath? Can I have your other hand, please? It's a lot of responsibility to be a parent. And so for me, every day I'm just trying to figure things out because this is new to me.
Margaret landed herself and then Zoe in prison for selling methamphetamines. By the time she leaves, Zoe will be 2 years old.
My mother was incarcerated here when she was around 19 or 20. I've been incarcerated. This is my second time here. Zoe's dad was also incarcerated. All of us were for drug crimes.
What you see and what we saw every day that we shot our documentary were strong bonds that were being formed between mother and child, something that doesn't always happen when someone sends their kid off to live with their mom or maybe into foster care. And you see some staggering statistics. 40% of inmates will never have a visitor for the entire time they're incarcerated. 50% of inmates live more than 100 miles from their children. Here at WCCW, mother and child are out before the baby turns 3 years old. And now, you don't just get the opportunity dropped in your lap. As we followed Christy, she had to petition to be part of the parenting program. By then, she was just a couple of weeks away from delivering, and she was getting pretty desperate, and she allowed us to follow her into her hearing, where they would determine if she would get to keep her baby behind bars or whether baby Grace would be taken from her. This was her hearing.
Hi. So this is the RPP screening committee. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about what got you here?
Well, my crime is identity theft and possession of a stolen payment instrument, and drugs were involved. Methamphetamines and alcohol became a pretty big deal for me at the end.
So what made you start using again?
A lot of things in my family. My marriage was real unstable at the time, and then the real estate market collapsed, and that caused a lot of stress on my husband. And so I eventually started using, and then he started drinking, and everything kind of fell apart, and so did I.
When we met, we discussed your CPS history. So there's a few things, one of which a referral was made in April of this year, notifying CPS that you were pregnant, in jail, and using drugs. And you said that that was incorrect, right?
Yes. I wasn't in jail in April, and I wasn't using drugs since December 11th. I think what might have happened was when I went to my medical appointment, they asked if there had been any drugs or alcohol, and I probably told them the first month and a half of my pregnancy that I had been intoxicated heavily. So,
I mean, have you guys had turmoil in your relationship before? What is a baby that's not his that's going to remind him daily of your relationship issues and what happened? What is that going to do?
well, it's either going to destroy us or bring us together.
Christy, I think, is here today. Christy, are you here? Hi, Christy. She was accepted into the parenting program, and now she's raising her baby, Grace, behind bars. How old is Grace now? This program is about giving a second chance to women. Frankly, I think a lot of people in society would say they're not worth a second chance. But we see it as an opportunity to give hope and an incentive and a chance to women who need it. And it's in the shape of a baby. I want to thank the prison officials who gave us incredible access as we were able to tell the stories of these women in our documentary. We're very, very grateful. But mostly, I want to thank the women, the mothers of J Unit, who opened up their lives to us and shared with us some of their sad stories and their happy stories as they fight to raise their babies behind bars. Thank you.